Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Bakayoko to review today. We just unlocked the card right now, so we're going to go ahead and see what is good with this card. In regards to his specific stats, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a card that is 6'2" with medium work rates, right-footed with 3-star skill moves. But the big thing with this card is the fact that he has the 5-star weak foot. So medium is a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping that he was going to be at least a medium high, but it is what it is. If he's a medium, as long as he has decent stamina, I'm not going to really mind too much. We're looking at a card that has 77 acceleration, 80 sprint speed, decent defensive stats, decent physical stats. Dribbling on the ball for a CDM is not bad at all, considering the fact that his reactions, ball control, and dribbling is pretty up there. Balance and agility isn't really up there, but as a CDM, I feel like the main focus of a card like Bakayoko is to be very solid defensively. Passing stats, he can pass the ball really nicely, especially since he has that 5-star weak foot now with his card. So a very nice boost to have there. In general, we have absolutely no shooting presence with this card as well. So the main focus with this card is going to be seeing how he is in the CDM position, whether it is the left or right center defensive position in a 4-2-3-1 narrow or wide, or in a 4-1-2-2 where he's playing as a lone CDM with the medium work rates, right? So the way that we are going to be lined up in game to try out Bakayoko's card is going to look like this in two different ways, right? So we're going to be using the 4-2-3-1. Balance and balance, we're not going to affect anything here, but we are going to be playing him as a left center defensive mid because of the fact that he has the 5-star weak foot now, right? We're going to go ahead and put Ozzy Main up top, Bernardo Silva in the middle, Cornet to the left, and yeah, so this is how we're going to be trying it out in game with Bakayoko. What we're going to have with him is going to only be stay back while attacking, cover center on both of the CDMs, right? If we want just to have a little bit of attacking presence and we want Bakayoko to be with a more defensive-oriented CDM, we'll do cover center only for the CDM, but we're just going to tell Laurent Blanc to stay on bounce because I want to see, again, I'm going to be giving the ball to my opponent to see how he attacks against me with Bakayoko playing in the middle. I need to see if he lingers around that little semicircle area in the 18-yard box, and if we're transitioning back, I don't want him to be out of position. I don't want him to be a man-marking type of CDM, because sometimes they do that. I feel like a big example of that is Battaglia from the Liga NOS. He does that quite often. Doesn't make him a bad CDM because he's very solid. It's just that it's a characteristic that I don't like personally, right? So yeah, we're going to be trying him on the left center defenseman position in a 4-2-3-1. We are also, like I said, going to try him out on balance with the 4-1-2-1-2 instructions as well, which is going to be at the bottom here, right here. Bakayoko will be playing in the center defenseman position. We're going to go ahead and put Ozzy Main in the middle just because of those high work rates. No defensive presence, but we're going to use him there anyways. Because the attacking doesn't matter. I just want to see how a player plays on the stay back while attacking cover center, because obviously you can't really use him as a center mid. You can't really use him as a cam, right? Because the dribbling is not really up to par. Medium is not necessarily the greatest. Like, you could give him an engine chemistry style, but it's not recommended. So to fully try out this card, we're going to have to see if I want the shadow chemistry style. Actually, we're going to have to slap it on him right away because there's no other chemistry style you can really give him. In my genuine opinion, you have to solely focus this guy as the solid presence you have in the CDM position. So let's go try him out in game. Hopefully he's a beast. Again, it's going to be mostly defensive presence. I really don't care about him transitioning forward because he doesn't really have any good qualities to transition forward. So that plus 15 for acceleration, plus 10 for sprint speed, plus 10 for defensive awareness is going to be very big things. And then obviously he has an interceptions that are basically perfect while also being 6'2" with a 5-star weak foot. So yeah, let's get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he's a beast. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and switch to the 4-2-3-1 first. So no second man press so far. I want to see how he's going to position himself with Laurent Blanc. Kind of rotating between the two right now. This is from kickoff as well. So you can see the way that he's positioned over here. He's actually positioning himself quite nicely with Laurent Blanc, so that's a pretty good start so far. Okay, so no second man press here. We're just going to control one person. Off the ball movement, he's trying to get in front of the opposition. Passes it to the other guy. 2 CDM position. Laurent Blanc a little bit more aggressive than Bakayoko to push back. Obviously, it's in his position, but the high defensive work rates is a really, really big deal in regards to off-the-ball movement without you actually controlling the player. And you can see that Laurent Blanc, with his medium-high work rates, will make that difference for sure. But nice little defensive play right there, too. So again, we're not controlling anything. Laurent Blanc, Bakayoko playing off each other here. They're doing very generic stuff for the 2 CDMs. Bakayoko does come really closely here to get the ball. Obviously, what I want to test out here, too, with this card is going to be his dribbling. Okay, so you can feel the little bit of emphasis with the card, but the thing that's making this card really nice is the fact that, the reactions, ball control, and dribbling stat being improved drastically actually helps it out a lot. So, yes, his characteristics are very sluggish, but those 3 stats definitely help out the card in regards to responsiveness, and you can kind of see it, right? Like, his characteristic of being sluggish is there, but his reactions, ball control, and dribbling is definitely improved for sure. Again, not going to be controlling anything here. Not super aggressive to block that guy right there. No tactics at all to see what type of instruction he might need. So what we're going to do right away, because I'm not liking him on the balance too much, is I'm going to try cut passing lanes with just him specifically, because the way Laurent Blanc moves off the ball, I really, really like. He's one of the best, in my opinion, in the game, but from like the lower standards, because he was one of the icon swaps. But we're going to go ahead and try out Bakayoko with cut passing lanes now, just to see if it makes any difference with the card. Yeah, so you can tell on the cut passing lane instruction, he kind of stays more in line with Laurent Blanc, so we're not going to do anything here. He doesn't have to block anybody here. Now, with the cut passing lane instruction, you can see without me even controlling him there, he defends really, really nicely against the oncoming attacker. So, again, these are types of things that you have to experiment with cards. Sometimes cards aren't bad. Sometimes their base characteristics aren't really good enough, right? But with Bakayoko, that cut passing lane instruction looks like it's going to be the it factor for sure. Okay, so again, not controlling anybody. So they stay together, Laurent Blanc and him. Cut passing lanes, he's blocking that one guy. Laurent Blanc and Bakayoko not doing anything. But again, the cut passing lane right there, you see, very, very big deal. That's a general thing that CDMs do, right? They don't really often overcommit into that middle area of the 18-yard box, not unless they have like the drop back tactic, which is why it makes it so overpowered. That's why it should be removed from the game. But you could see there that the cut passing lane instruction, he's playing really nicely off of the guy that's playing through the middle. Now, what you have to do when someone is playing this way is you need to see the way that their formation is set up. So if we take a look at this guy's formation, he has a diamond formation with the 4 players in the middle in regards to Timo Werner, Goretzka, Delaney, and Witsel. So there's going to be a lot of attacking through the middle. So that cut passing lane instruction against players like Goretzka, against Thomas Delaney, that's going to be very important, right? This cut passing lane instruction is not always going to work depending on the situation of the game, but you can see that that is what's going to be the best instruction so far on this card in regards to the basic sense, right? So I don't really like the man mark tactic too much. It's not really something that I personally enjoy. It's just something about it that it's just not even worth like trying out with the card, in my opinion. And that's why you have Laurent Blanc committing on the attack a little bit there. Bakayoko stays back in defense, right? He stays around that middle area, and Laurent Blanc, being a pretty good attacking presence player because of the fact that his original position is the cam spot, really, really nice to have that overcommitment of one of the cards, because the medium-high work rates will bring him back. And because Bakayoko is more defensive-oriented, and you can tell, he definitely stays back there on that instruction for sure. And I think that the stay back while attacking cut passing lanes is definitely going to be a nice thing to have with him for sure. You can see that once I make the pass with him, and like he doesn't overcommit when he doesn't need to. Like, you see, like he just kind of sticks to that position there. And Laurent Blanc is in a more like advanced position. If Bakayoko transitions to Laurent Blanc's position, not necessarily a problem because of the fact that he can play in the right center defensive position too. But you do preferably want to use Laurent Blanc as the CDM on the side he's supposed to be, because if you don't do that, it's not necessarily ideal for the CDM position in regards to attacking, because Laurent Blanc doesn't have the 4-star or 5-star weak foot, right? See, cut passing lanes, he's blocking that guy really nicely. When we switch from him, the one thing that I will notice, that I do notice with the card right away, is that the initial acceleration with the player is not necessarily the greatest. But once he actually gets going and he picks up his own speed, he's actually quite quick to get into the position to defend really nicely. So that's very, very important characteristic to have for CDMs. He's not on the level of Laurent Blanc defensively in regards to accelerating really quickly, but you could see that it's a little bit, that part right there, how it's a little bit sluggish, but once he gets going, he's really, really good. So right there, you can see good defensive presence to be able to block that area. 6'2" height is going to be very, very helpful for a card like this. I will say that he's not special so far. I think that he can play the right center defensive position better than the left center defensive position for sure, because of that 5-star weak foot. Again, when I say that a card is not special, that does not mean that they're bad. That's not what I'm trying to say. Special is like when you use like a Team of the Year Ronaldo. Like, you can tell that is the full meta of the game. That's what I'm going to try to say. When it's special, it's a full meta. He's not a full meta card, but he does feel very good and usable in this game so far. See that initial acceleration part right there, that's where he's slow. But like, it's right, if he, like, once you get past that initial acceleration, he's fine. For the full meta, that initial acceleration part is not necessarily ideal, obviously. But it's a really, really small thing in regards to being able to enjoy the card, if that makes sense. But for full meta, for very specific scenarios, you obviously don't want your players to do that, right? Transitions back on the attack really quickly right there. I'm using Laurent Blanc, no second man press. Keeps blocking the middle area really well. So that's one thing that I definitely noticed with him and Laurent Blanc, is that they play off of each other really well. Kind of like back in the day, how that used to be like one of the partnerships, where I think it was like FIFA 16 or 17. And it worked out really nicely, obviously. But you can see, again, Bakayoko, more defensive oriented, doesn't really push up the pitch on the stay back while attacking cover center instruction. His transitioning is really good, though. Like, going left and right, very, very solid. Positions like that with the 5-star weak foot, very helpful to do those angled passes if you have to do the first time one. I kind of just want to try him out on the right center defensive position. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to try him out in a 4-1-2-2 as a lone CDM now. I forgot to do that. So let's go try that out first. I have to switch my defensive tactics. Dribbling really, really slow with the card. The agility and balance is always going to be noticeable, but like I said, the main focus of this card is not going to be attacking at all. It's going to be strictly defending. Yeah, positions himself in the middle really nicely. He's only on stay back while attacking cover center for the 4-1-2-2 instructions. It does seem like that is going to be his preferred thing, is going to be the lone CDM. Because I feel like in a 4-2-3-1, you kind of need players that can dribble the ball really quickly, but with a 4-1-2-2, you kind of just want that CDM to be strictly good defensive-wise. And you could see that the way he positions himself here, when I'm pushing out here with Bernardo Silva, he positions himself really nicely in the middle, right? But you can see that Laurent Blanc with the medium-high worker, it's a little bit more aggressive to occupy that position. But you can see there that Bakayoko in the lone center defensive position, you can definitely utilize his characteristics a little more than you can with him as a 2 CDM midfielder. He likes to occupy single players out, which is very interesting. Like when he's defending, coming back and stuff, it's a characteristic that I've noticed with his card so far. Okay, so I just wanted to do that tackle. You can even see that there's emphasis behind the actual tackle that he does there. Acceleration, sprint speed, obviously very helpful to get back into position. He can defend that really nicely because of the height that he has and that 5-star weak foot. All right, guys, so final verdict on the card. He's incredibly usable, right? The 5-star weak foot is very, very helpful. In a 4-1-2-1-2 setup, he can play the lone center defensive position really nicely. Not as good as someone like Laurent Blanc with medium-high work rates, but still very, very usable. The 5-star weak foot was obviously a huge help for this card in regards to defending and attacking, making specific passes at certain angles and whatnot, so that's going to be a huge plus in this card as well. For a gameplay objective card, you can't really go wrong with someone that's going to be using the Shadow Chemistry style with 88 stamina on stay back while attacking most of the time. So you're going to be looking at a card that's going to offer you a good defensive presence, but unfortunately is not going to offer you any attacking presence whatsoever. And at the end of the day, there will be moments in game where he's going to have to shoot, he's going to have to get into certain positions attacking wise, and you know, he may not be able to do that for you. So it's not necessarily a huge rotational player, but if you're going to be strictly using him as a defensive presence in your CDM position, this card is going to be very, very usable. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. I have a couple of videos to do today for a lot of players, SBC cards and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.